Yes, y'all. That was Goliath Paw with Higher. And now we've got him on the phone right now. What's good, brother?
Yo, what's going on, partners? How you doing, Robbie?
Very, very good, man. Just enjoying the new tunes from you, man. Canary in a Coal Mine.
Thanks for playing them, first of all. I always want to give thanks to you guys who help us artists get our material out there, so...
That's what's up, man. Appreciation goes a long way too, man. I was just talking to somebody about that the other day. It was just like the magic of appreciation. What can happen when you just when you show thanks for stuff. Like it definitely goes a long way. And I can tell with your team, your management, and everybody over there, they all show a lot of respect in that field. Showing a lot of appreciation for everything.
Definitely, man. Yeah, and. I mean, that's just the way you got to come up in this game. You really got to be appreciative and show people that you do care and give everybody the same level of respect. That's the only way we can all rise,
Definitely, man. I put a post out the other day just about how artists that come off with this egotistical kind of I'm better than you, I don't really need you kind of just attitude type thing. I never ever want to work with them ever again. It always rubs me the wrong way, and it rubs everybody else wrong too. But always the people that come with a real humble approach, you know what I mean? It makes such a world difference, and I think it's going to be the maker and breaker between who makes it and who doesn't. You know what I mean? The people that keep it 100 and keep it real. Yeah,
man. I couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah, you're totally right.
Definitely. Word up. Well, let the people know a little bit about you, where you're from, a little bit about your background and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I go by the name of Goliath Paw. I'm about into my second year of actually rapping professionally, taking it serious. I'm a graduate of university, so I want to get my education first. It's very important to me to come from, have a sound background and sound mind in order to move forward in life. I come from the city of Ottawa, Ontario. I just recently moved to Toronto, though, in order to further my music career, because we all know the industry is here, but I still got mad love for my city, and I hail them up every time. Just released my first industry project, musical project, EP called Canary in a Coal Mine. So right now, I'm just in the process of having CD release parties. We had one 2 weeks ago here in Toronto. It was off the hook. Just want to thank everyone who showed up there. It meant a lot to me. We rocked it. We killed it. So I got a couple more planned, and we're just pushing the EP right now.
Word up. Yeah, no, I saw the footage from that Toronto show, man. It definitely looked really ill. Lots of people came out and represented. You definitely rocked that crowd, and it looked like a fun time there for sure.
Yeah, it was. It definitely was.
Word up, yes. And now moving around a little bit, you're gonna get a chance to come out here to Guelph, rock a release party here on the 26th of April. Looking forward to that, man. Yeah,
man, me too. It's gonna be my second time out there. Had the pleasure of doing it already with you in the past. So, and like we said, I couldn't wait to come back out there, and I'm glad that we were able to make it happen.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's always a pleasure seeing a fellow artist like yourself out there on the grind, meeting you on different tours and seeing you just coming together, it's great. I love seeing it, man. I love seeing artists just progress, and to hear that from you, only 2 years in the game, to be at the point where you are right now, making the moves that you are, doing the kind of quality of music that you're doing, you know what I mean? It's really impressive, and I think if you just keep going exactly with that hustle that you got, man, definitely you're definitely going somewhere for real.
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
I love seeing artists progress, man. That's what it's all about. But talk about that a little bit. What that's been like, you obviously a student going to school and stuff like that. Speak to the people a little bit about how hard work and spending time really focusing on what you got to do and achieving your goals has made all that kind of happen and fall into place for you now to the position that you're at.
Yeah, I mean, since a young boy, my mom always, who I consider my hero, and I tell everybody that, she told me from a young age that you got to put your all into everything or don't do it at all. So I mean, that's why I wanted to go to school, and I wanted to learn more about the music background in the music industry. Even before I started rapping, while I was in school, I was studying about the music industry, just so I don't come into it blindly, and I know how to, maneuver my way in and around. And as long as you keep a professional demeanor about you, I mean, there's really no stopping you, and no one can tell you how far you can go, because sky's the limit.
Definitely. And that's very important, keeping that professional demeanor, I think. You know, I mean, people got this sloppy approach.
Yeah, exactly.
But when
you can work hard all you want, but you got to work smart, and you got to be professional about it. Mm-hmm. I think that's what a lot of people fail to realize.
Definitely. Just the way that you talk, the way that you send a message to somebody, trying to get on gigs or doing anything. Exactly. Like, it's all in the approach, and when you approach it really in a professional way, you get the best results, I think.
Definitely, yeah.
That's what it is. It's good that your team embraces that, man. Definitely. So you've got Canary in a Coal Mine out now. What's it feel like having the CD finished, and what do you feel like are some of, you know, your strongest material on that album? And talk a little bit about what that material is and how, you know, the stories behind it.
Well, it feels like I had a baby. not even just me, but like the whole team, because like I said, this has been almost 2 years in the making. You know, we started from day one, going out to the different producers and getting the instrumentals and writing the songs and getting it mixed, mastered, and produced, and then finally getting everything printed and released. So, I mean, we started pretty early, too. I have these videos on YouTube. It's called our On the Rise vlogs, where you follow me and my team, and you get to, you know, really see the life of an artist. So everyone that's been rocking with us from day one has seen from vlog 1 up until now vlog 5 of just the whole process of the making of this too. So I feel like they're connected as well. It's called Canary in a Coal Mine. My favorite song on there is called Weirdos Win. It's a pop rap kind of crossover anthem. It's about anti-bullying and, you know, just trying to feel good about who you really are, because I feel like, especially in the music game and for men in general growing up, you know, there's such a feeling, or like people force you to be who you don't want to be, right? And you're always trying to fit into a mold. So that song really just identifies, you know, be who you are, don't worry about the rest, and people will like you for who you are. And I mean, it's worked with me, so why not share that knowledge, you know?
Definitely. I think that's very important for people to realize. Just be yourself. That's the biggest thing. A lot of people just get afraid. That's the biggest thing, you know, just afraid of themselves or afraid to come outside of the shell, because they don't, you know, they're scared of what other people are going to think. Don't care what people think. Ever. Yeah. It doesn't matter what they think. You don't like it. All that matters is just you being yourself and having a good time with it. If you act like a goof and some other person looks at you like, what the heck is that person doing? Or what are they wearing? Or da-da-da-da. Shut up, you haters. Like, seriously. Yeah. Like, it's funny because one of my friends mentioned this the other day. Something so simple brings it back to like what we were taught when we were kids. Like, didn't your mother ever teach you, like, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say it at all?
Exactly, yeah.
What happened to that philosophy? Like, just if you don't, like, what is the point of spreading some sort of negativity towards somebody else and just like, oh, I hate this about you, I hate that about you? That's so judgmental and just at such a negative vibrational level. Like, just stop that, people. There's no need for that out there at all. Online, physically to people, like, there's no need for that. It's so ridiculous, man.
I totally agree, man. And you can't go further in life and in your own career until you're happy with yourself. And I learned that. And once I learned that, my career took off. So I mean, that's why I wrote that song. Another song that I really like on there is Higher, which was the first single that we pushed out back in November of 2013. You know, that one it was about me being frustrated with kind of like how the game is. You know, like, because like I said, I was following the local scene while I was in school, and I was kind of frustrated, like, oh, why aren't these guys doing this? Or, buddy, you just had the opportunity. Why couldn't you take it to, like, this level, you know? Like, you're buzzing. So that was just me being frustrated, but, like, when it's time for me to enter the game, that's when I'm going to come through, and y'all better watch out, because I'm here to make noise and show everybody who I really am. So definitely Higher and Weirdos Win are my two favorite songs on that.
Word up, that's dope. Well, we bumped the Higher one already. We'll definitely end off with the Weirdos win for this session here. I like that track too, man. The hook is just really powerful. That girl that sings out on that, she's killing it, and it's just really a good song, well put together, man. That's another thing too, is just like your writing ability when it comes to bridges, putting a good hook together, the verses, and having strong content that really comes together and feels like a song. It's not just some random rhymes thrown together and just tossing it out there. You're really taking the approach of making good songs, and I think that's key for any artists out there up and coming that are just seeing what it takes to really catch a buzz and really get out there. Is like, I think understanding writing music is really important.
You got to be able to know how to write a song. Like what I feel like in hip hop too, especially nowadays, especially with the highlights of features, and this Drake's featuring on here, and Nicki Minaj's feature on here. Everyone's forgetting the art of the songwriting and why people want to listen to hip hop in the first place. Okay, my beats might not be the most underground sort of or your normal hip hop, but I'll put a storyline to a beat that you would just turn up in a club with. So by the time you're done listening to that beat, hey, guess what? There's a story under there too. Kind of like drop it. I'm actually telling a storyline of falling for a girl through a webcam, but it's one of those beats that you turn up to in a club.
And to be honest, like, I'm not really too much into that kind of club music, but when you do it, it makes me want to listen to it. You know what I mean? Because exactly what you're saying there, that there's something into that music. And that's my biggest critique of club type music, is I'm just like, they're not saying anything in there, so I can't stand listening to it. But when there's actually something intelligent being portrayed in the lyrics, and a good story or something like that I can follow, I'm with that. So yeah,
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, thanks.
That's clutch.
That's all.
That's clutch. How were you able to kind of like create that or make that ability kind of happen when you're first crafting material?
I don't know. I guess I'd have to say it's just a collection of from when I was growing up and the types of music I listened to. I always say that I got kind of like my clean demeanor. I use a lot of innuendos and punchlines, dancing around the bush when I want to talk about something specifically, just because I don't want to come off as too rude. So I know I got that from Will Smith, because he's one of my idols and one of the first rappers I listened to. I went out and bought all his CDs, memorized all his songs, and just the way I was growing up, my mom says not to be vulgar. So, I mean, I'm listening to a guy who's not vulgar. I grew up that way. I'm able to kind of spin that and not be so derogatory like other rappers in the game.
Word up. That's dope, man. And definitely shout outs to Will Smith. He's inspired a lot of artists, I think, and a lot of just people in general, just with his outlook on life and how he's been able to become so successful just with having a good...
Right? I said Will Smith, scandal free. I mean, he's been around forever, so hate on him.
He's doing really well. And just like his music is exactly like you said. I always had like kind of good story to it, creative and really clean.
Exactly.
I was always a big fan of Will Smith, man. I snagged a sample of one of his speeches from my last album. I was like, I gotta get Will Smith on this.
Definitely, yeah, man.
He's very intelligent. Definitely, shout outs to Will, one of the creators. Man, definitely, I think people in hip hop don't look back enough to the people who were before that like created this essence and stuff like that, especially some of the younger cats and people coming up. They're just all about that young stuff and forget about what really shaped the hip hop. So if you can talk a little bit about the people, the artists that you've kind of looked up to as you were growing up in the game, even in Canada, but also globally, as hip hop artists that have kind of inspired you.
Sure. Well, like, I didn't start listening to hip-hop music till I was around grade 8, grade 9. And so, like, when I did, like I said, I was listening to Will Smith, going back to the old Snoop Dogg, Biggie, Tupac, just those old guys, and just getting a feel for the different types of hip-hop that's out there. And then I started listening more and more to the radio, and that's where I kind of get my radio sound from. Yeah. But artists that I've always admired and looked up to, like we said, Will Smith, DMX, and I know that's totally on the other side because he's like hardcore gangster rapper. But what I learned from DMX was that it was okay to put emotions into music.
Mm-hmm.
It was okay to actually sing, because a lot of people don't realize he's very melodic in his in his songs. And I don't care who you are, but you can't turn any DMX song on, put it to like full volume, and if that doesn't get you hyped up and amped up. So I think that's where I get a lot of my emotion and wanting to have like those kind of hyper amped up tracks. So that's where I got that side from. And Eminem, just his flow. I think Eminem is the best rapper. From storytelling, he can tell a story about anything. He can switch up his flow, fast, slow. You know what I mean? Like, he's so diverse, and he's just good with it. So those three for sure: DMX, Eminem, and Will Smith are my top three rappers.
Word.
And who I try to emulate.
That's dope. I like that. I like how you like dissected it all too. I enjoy that. I like hearing, you know, the artists that inspire. I know it's a kind of a cliche question to ask in an interview, but I do really like to know, you know, the background of different artists, you know, how they got to where they are musically and stuff. And now that you mentioned some of those names, I can definitely see that, and then see how the correlation when you say how you've listened to radio and you're kind of taking the messages that these type of artists are doing and then transferring it into that radio sound, so you can get the more mass appeal and get these people, get these listeners, get these ears open. That's what we want, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
All right, word up. Well, much respects for doing the interview, man. Check them out on, you got Twitter at Goliath Paw. I just tweeted about our interview, so hopefully people have been tuning in and checking it out. At Goliath Paw on Twitter there, as well as on Instagram. And you've got...
I got my website, goliathpaw.com.
Yeah.
I got my Facebook group, Facebook/Goliath Music. And like you already said, Twitter and Instagram is both Goliath Paw. And that's where you guys can hit me up at. Follow me. I always follow back. Chat with me. I always answer everybody back. It's crazy. I love the love that I'm giving, and I just want to give it back to everybody. And like I said, man, thanks for you providing this opportunity just for guys like us, you know, to come through the ranks and be able to get our stuff out there. I really appreciate it. I can't wait to come to Guelph and kick it with y'all in about, like a month?
Yeah, just a month.
That'd be crazy. Yeah.
Pal. All right, much respects. Let's do it. All right, you're going to get some Canary in a Coal Mine right now. Weirdos Win on CFRU. Much respects, Goliath Paw, for doing the interview, man.
Appreciate it, man.
All right.
Take care, guys.
Peace.